All right. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Genocide here again with another Genocide show. Today we're going to be covering we're going to be doing about three reviews. We're going to be covering Winning Time, I believe episode 9, which I'm just surprised to see how quick this show is gone. Like we're already on episode 9, I think. Episode 10 might be the final episode, but I'll find that out. Then we'll be covering we're still reviewing The Man Who Fell to Earth. This will be episode 2 for this show. And I gotta say, I'm liking this show so far, but we'll dive into that. And then for the last review, we'll be going over the Halo series on Paramount Plus. I can't wait to talk about that because I got some things to say. But other than that, let's get right to it. Let's jump into the episode. Like I said, we're gonna jump into Winning Time, and for Winning Time, this episode 9, titled "Acceptable Loss." Now, this episode here is sad. It's a sad episode, and mind you, it's going to be spoilers in all of these reviews that I'm going over today. So I'm spoiling. If you haven't seen it, the episodes have been out already for a few days. Go on to Paramount Plus. Go check out Showtime, and then I believe what was the last one? And then HBO Max. Go check those episodes out if you haven't seen it, and then come back to this video and we could have this discussion. But there will be spoilers. So for this episode with Winning Time, it's a sad episode. It's sad and a happy episode at the same time, but I think it's more sad than anything. Because in this episode we have Jerry Buss's mom. She has cancer. Now they found this out, I think episode 8 or episode 7. So they knew this. They were trying to get treatment for her to get her help. Jerry Buss thought he had the doctors and he thought he had everything to help his mom to get her feeling better. But the cancer was just already spread too far in her body. And she really don't have too much time left. And in this episode, this is what the doctor is telling Dr. Jerry Buss. Like, look, your mom, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know you've been trying different what's the word I'm looking for? Experimental therapies to help her with the cancer, but it's still not working. And she pretty much does not have a lot of time left. So the best thing for you to do is try to spend much time with her and just enjoy her time while she's still here, and just make her as comfortable as possible, Now mind you, when this happens, when this doctor tells Dr. Jerry Buss this, Jerry Buss has this doctor up at his office, or up at the arena. They just got done watching the Lakers play. I believe it was in the playoff game. And they go up to his office. They got a couple of females with him. He tells them to go sit down and wait. Once they go in the office and Dr. Jerry Buss is pouring the drinks for him and that doctor that's trying to cure his mom, that's when this doctor drops that bomb on him. And when he tells them all that, Jerry Buss lost it. And I don't blame him. It's your mom. You guys are really tight. It's hard to have to sit there and hear someone tell you that there's nothing that they could do any further. And this is a doctor telling you this. So he was pissed. He told him to get, cussed him out, say, get up out of my office, out of my arena. I'm done. And just slammed the door on him. And yeah. It was just a tough episode for Jerry Buss, for Jeannie Buss, because she's basically, for her on this episode, she's been helping to build the Laker organization. and really just building that image that we start to see in the NBA today. Now, I don't know if that's true in real life, that she has something to do with how the cheerleaders are today and all that stuff, but in the show, she's really good at what she does. And some of the people, the employees who work for Dr. Jerry Buss, want to hire her on. But Dr. Jerry Buss ain't having it because he like, look, my mom is not, she's not well. I need her here to help take care of my mom. That's what I need. So he was adamant about it. He wasn't about to just like, he didn't care about her working up at for the Lakers or none of that, or working for him. He wants her there to help with her grandma, basically. And as this episode continues, you see Jerry Buss and Jeannie Buss get the grandma, and they go to a place where I guess the Dr. Jerry Buss's mom used to take them, or take him when he was a kid. But this place was closed down, so they kind of, they broke into it, cut the gate, and just went in there, had some drinks, played cards, and just reminisced and had a really great time as a family together at this place. By the time the morning comes and Dr. Jerry Buss wakes up, he sees his mom's not waking up. She's not getting up. Something's wrong. So he rushes her to the hospital immediately. Now, once they get her to the hospital, they literally have to put her on a breathing machine because she can't breathe anymore. She's not able to breathe on her own. So they put her on a breathing machine. And as all this is happening, while Dr. Jerry Buss is going through all this with his family, you have the Lakers right now in the playoffs. So as the episode is going, you see the days are counting down for each playoff game and for them to get to the finals. By time they count down to the finals, Dr. Jerry Buss took his mom off of the breathing machine, and he just couldn't see her suffer like that anymore. So it was hard, but when he did it, the Lakers were just winning the Western Conference so they could go to the NBA Finals to play against the 76ers. So you had that happening, but on the team side with the Lakers, with Magic Johnson and with Kareem, you were having some issues with some of their teammates. One of the teammates, Spencer, let me see here. I don't remember his last name, but I know his name is Spencer. It's one of the players on the team. He has an issue with doing drugs, and for some reason he slipped up. He started tripping at practice. Started getting into it with some of the teammates, but then once Kareem seen what was going on, Kareem had to get at him and check him and said, "Look, man," because Kareem's the captain. "Look, man, I need you to clean this up. I know you want to get a ring. Let's get a ring. You got a baby girl at home. You know what I'm saying? You got kids, man. Let's get it together. Get yourself cleaned up, and let's go win this championship." So, Kareem had to get at him. Spencer like, "All right, bet. I'm going to make sure I get myself together. I promise. I ain't going to let you down, Cap." That's what he told him. "I ain't going to let you down." So he comes back in these playoffs games, and he's hooping. He's killing it. You know what I'm saying? He's helping the team get to where they need to get to. But I believe it was the final game for the Western Conference Finals, and he slipped up again. He chose to go, get high, and Cap wasn't having it, or Kareem wasn't having it. The team wasn't having it. The coaching staff wasn't having it. So the coaching staff basically put it to the team to go ahead and vote on should he stay on the team or not. Everybody voted, and they voted for him to be off the team. That's tough. You got your chance. Why mess this up when you're this close to getting the ring? I don't understand it. So Kareem had to go out there and speak to him and tell him, "Hey, look, man, it came to a vote. It wasn't the coaches who actually decided on your future here. It was the team, and we decided to cut you. We not gonna deal with this. So now they don't have Spencer going into the finals, and I believe he was the power forward for the team. So I don't know how true, if that any of that's true to what really happened with the Lakers. That's something I would have to look into. But yeah, he got cut from the team. So now the Lakers got to make it do what it do. I believe too in this episode they were trying to figure out who was going to end up being the coach for the Lakers, because you've had, I don't remember exactly the coach's name. Well, I know Pat Riley was the assistant coach. Let me see if I can find another coach here. Paul Westhead. Yeah, Paul Westhead and Pat Riley were the coaches. Basically, Tracy, hold on, excuse me, because I'm giving you the actual actor's name. There was another head coach. I don't remember his name. He ends up getting hurt riding a bike in one of the early episodes. He's out for like 50 games. And basically, Paul Westhead and Pat Riley had to take over for him. But when they did, they ended up winning like 50 games without the main head coach. So once, I can't believe I don't remember his name, but once the first head coach of the Lakers that they picked got out of the hospital, started to recover, and the doctor cleared him to come back, coach the team. Dr. Jerry Buss and other people in the organization like Jerry West had to make a decision on, do we bring him back or do we stick with who we have, who's won us over 50 games, got us into the playoffs? Do we really want to mess that up now? But as they're trying to figure this out, Dr. Jerry Buss is having a real hard time trying to decide on what to do. So he kind of put it on Jerry West to figure this out. Jerry West was having a hard time trying to figure it out, but Jerry West never couldn't decide who would be the best to come back and coach. So he brought it back to Dr. Jerry Buss, and Dr. Jerry Buss still didn't make a decision. But Jerry West told him, like, man, just go with your heart. You know, you got made all this money. What got you here? And you know, Dr. Jerry Buss told him, I went with my heart. So he's like, go with your heart for this one. So we see Dr. Jerry Buss end up going over to, man, I can't believe I don't remember the first head coach's name. He goes to his house. This coach answers the door. He answers his door. It's Jerry Buss at the door, but mind you, when this head coach answered the door, he didn't even remember. Well, he couldn't even see who it was. Like, he was having blurred vision and thought it was somebody delivering something, not knowing it's Dr. Jerry Buss, it's your boss. So right there, Dr. Jerry Buss knew, okay, he's not, I can't have him come coach this team. He didn't even recognize me, you know? And his wife comes up, the coach's wife comes up and is like, yeah, it's Dr. Jerry Buss right here. And you know, it was already too late. Jerry Buss saw what he needed to see and made the right call. So he ended up having Pat Riley and Paul Westhead end up coaching the playoffs, which was the right move because they ended up getting them to the championship, or to the finals. So right now, that's where the episode ends. It ends with Dr. Jerry Buss's mom passing away, and the Lakers making it to the finals to play against the 76ers, and not Boston. It would have been nice to see Boston come in so my Lakers could smash on Boston. I would have loved that, but you know, their beatdown is coming after this first championship that the Lakers is about to get with Magic and with Kareem. So I'm excited for the next episode. I can't wait to see it. But like I've said in one of my last videos covering this show, I want to see more basketball. I get it. You want the drama. You want to build it up, the suspense. You want to show things that happen in behind the scenes I get that. I like all that. But give me some basketball. Like, we seen a little bit of basketball with them in the playoffs, but it's like you're showing them when the game is ending and they've won the game. Like, we're getting like one play out of all of it, and I want more. I want to see more basketball. I get it. It's a drama series, and you wanna show, like I said, all that behind the scenes, what's going on in the front office, what's going on with Dr. Jerry Buss and his family. I even feel like they're not even showing enough of Magic or Kareem, excuse me. I feel like they're not even showing enough of them, you know? So hopefully going into this next episode, I don't know if it's the last one for the season, but hopefully we get to see them playing in the finals and they really just beef up the basketball. I want to see the basketball. I want to see some hooping. I want to see people getting dunked on. I want to see some sky hooks. I want to see all that. Give it to me. Stop playing. This is about my Lakers. It's about my Lakers with Magic Johnson and Kareem. Show me some of that. I get all the drama. I get everything that was going on, and that's great and all. But I want to see them hooping. It's called winning time. It's called winning time. And if you're winning on the court. And if you're winning on the court, everybody is winning. Front office is winning. Everybody's eating when you're winning championships. So I just want to see that for the next episode. But that's my review on Winning Time, episode 9. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on HBO Max. Really good show. But we're gonna keep it pushing. And move on to our next review here. Let me get set up here. Let me see. So for the next review that I'm going to be talking about, we're going to go over the Man Who Fell to Earth. I really like this show. I do. Just for the first 2 episodes, they already got me hooked. I'm in it. I'm here. They got me. They got me in the show, and I'm enjoying it. I like the pacing. I like the build up to what's going on here, and we're going to talk about that. So let me just get set up here. Let me get set up here, and we're going to go. So we're talking about here episode 2 of The Man Who Fell to Earth, and this episode was titled "Unwashed and Somewhat Slightly Dazed." Okay, so it's an interesting title, but that's what they titled it. So here we go. In this episode, we pick back up with, let me get his name right, because I know I'll be messing these names up, but we're going to get it. We're going to get these names right here. So, this alien being who came to Earth, his name is Faraday. I think that's how you pronounce it, Faraday. Now, he's been sent to Earth on a mission. He needs to find this woman named Justin Falls, who I want to say is a scientist, and she's very intelligent, smart. She had a career. I don't know exactly what she was working on. I don't remember. So either way it goes, he needs her. And that career or path that she had, being a scientist, she's kind of ended that career to focus on trying to help her father and take care of her daughter. And life is really hard for this woman right now. It's tough. Like, they're talking about for her dad, just to help him, because he needs medication, because he's disabled. He has something going on that's wrong with him. She needs to get medication from him. It's going to cost her $40 a day for his medication, and he has to have this every day. So she's going through it. Okay? And from the first episode, she meets Faraday. Don't understand how he knows who she is and why he's in a police station telling the police officers to call her, like if this is someone he's known all his life. But mind you, he's from another planet. He's on a mission. He was told to find this person. So, like I said, when we pick up in the second episode, he's trying to get this transmission. basically, there's a message for him. He knows the coordinates where he needs to go to get there, and Justin is taking him there. She's still tripping and weirded out by who he is. She don't know if he crazy, if he tripping, and he off some drugs. But for some reason, something's telling her, okay, I should help him. Now, when we get to picking up this second episode, Justin did try to leave him. She did. She thought he was losing his mind, and she just drove off. But she seen the tornado come, and she noticed he's starting to walk into the tornado. So she comes back. Now, she must be crazy too, because I don't understand why she drove all up on a tornado and then think that you could get sucked into it, your truck could get flipped over. Like, she rides up on a tornado and just starts screaming and and then wants to duck down and all that. You shouldn't have got that damn close. You could have waited. I mean, look, if Faraday walking in and he ain't phased by, he just walked into the tornado like it was nothing. Okay? Then wasn't moved or nothing. He just walked in. And as soon as he walks in, he gets he connects to this transmission, which is coming to him in a dream state. So he's in this dream state, and he ends up seeing someone that's from his planet named Thomas Newton. Now, he's been here, from my understanding, he's been on planet Earth for 15 years already. So he came before Faraday arrived. But Faraday had to get to him to receive this message. And it's in a dream state. So this guy, Thomas Newton, is telling him, look, you need to become more like the humans, but don't let yourself get too much like the humans. You see how I am. I'm smoking cigarettes now, and I look like I just had a whole bottle of Henny. Like, he's warning them, like, don't let it go too far. Remember where you come from. Remember your mission, and I need you to take Justin Falls. He was like, did you find her? I need you to take her to this to my company that I used to own. And you need to take her there and get it back. Now I need to get, like I said, more detail on this company and what they do. I know it's dealing with some, I don't know, I want to say fusion technology, or I'm not sure. I might be wrong about that. If you guys know what the company is, or what he's supposed to do with this company, just leave it in the comments. I mean, I'm going to look it up, figure it out. I should remember making these videos. I should know coming in. I should be on point. But we getting there. Just work with your boy. So he's like, yeah, I found her, but things ain't going too good with Justin right now. He still got to convince her that he is from another planet and he's not crazy and all this stuff. So that once he gets that information, the transmission ends, and we end up cutting back to Justin in the truck, and she pops up. Now her truck is covered with all type of dirt and sand, because they were like in the desert area when this tornado was coming. So she uses her windshield wipers, and once she does that, she sees Faraday standing there. But he looking crazy because he's walked in that tornado, it started to rip away at his face, and you could see his alien face, like what he really looked like. And it freaked her out. Oh my goodness. It freaked her out so bad, she dipped off again. This is the second time she done rode off on him like that. But this time now it's like, okay, am I crazy? Am I tripping? What did I just see? He went into this tornado. He came out, and no, I mean, if something was wrong with his face, obviously, but like any other person would have got sucked up in the tornado, tossed in the air, and probably would have been dead. But not him. Not him. He survived it. So she goes back home. She's at work, talking to one of her co-workers. Her co-worker's like, what's wrong, girl? Are you okay? And she's just like, look, I'm dealing with something. It's kind of crazy. And her friend kind of give her advice to kind of like push her into going a little bit more in there and exploring what's what, what's going on with Faraday. Now she don't know nothing. Her friend, her coworker, whoever don't know nothing about Faraday because she didn't tell her. But she's just like, look, go out. Maybe you need to go figure this out instead of just sitting here and going crazy and tripping. So she thinks on it, and as she's sitting there thinking about it, she gets a phone call. Now, mind you, this is a police calling her from an airport that Faraday tried to go up to with a fake ID, not knowing. Basically, he got a ride up there from a taxi. The taxi man says something about an ID. Faraday's like, "What's an ID? An identification card." And he seen the taxi driver's card on the window, and he just took it. He figured, "Hey, I could use this card," not knowing that you go somewhere and you use somebody else's identification, you're most likely going to jail. That's just what's going to happen. You're getting locked up. That's identity theft. Come on. But once again, he not from Earth, so he don't know no better. So he go up to the airport. He tries to use it, but he starts to feel real sick and woozy because there's radiation and it's coming from um I can't what the machines. When you go to the TSA and the X-ray machines, those are putting out radiation and it's affecting him. So once it started affecting him, he tries to run out of that airport. Mind you, the the lady that was helping him, she didn't already called security and they're on his head. By the time security gets up to him and they pull out the guns on him, he just starts spewing and throwing up water. And I mean, just a crazy amount. It was nasty. It was nasty. But that happened. So once he got hemmed up, they ended up calling Justin, and she at first wasn't like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not gonna come help him. No, but I don't know. She changed her mind, and she ends up going on a mission. But she drops off her dad and her daughter at a place where her dad is getting help and is able to go out and get some range of motion and meet with other people and go to groups and stuff like that. So she drops him off and she goes and picks up Faraday. She gets Faraday and basically it's like, am I crazy? Are you really from another planet? And Faraday's like, I am from somewhere, and what you saw was real. It wasn't fake when you saw my face. Um, but so she ends up getting him, and then she ends up coming back and pick up her father and her daughter. They end up meeting Faraday, and the dad actually ends up liking him. Now, mind you, Faraday is very blunt with what he says. He keeps it 100. This world needs more of this honesty, and everybody shouldn't always get in their feelings and be hurt and crying about stuff when people tell being truthful about something. But mind you, like I said, he's not from this planet, so he may say some things that's out of pocket and offend some people. Now, mind you, they end up getting some food. They go back to Justin's house. That's her name, Justin. Yeah, Justine or Justin. They go to Justin's house. They're having dinner together with Faraday, and Faraday just come out like straight up like, look, your dad's dying. He's gonna die. There's nothing you can do about it. And it was cruel. It was very cruel. But mind you, he not from Earth. He just keeping it 100. He just saying what he see, not realizing this is hurting the daughter's feelings and hurting the mom's feelings and or the mom's daughter's feelings and her feelings. And so she's like, "Look, just be quiet. Just shut up and get out of my house. Just go get in the truck. Get in the truck." So he goes outside. He gets in the truck, Faraday, and then the grandpa he goes to his room because he started talking crazy. He just started saying some random crazy stuff, and it just got real weird and wild while they were trying to eat. So Justin takes her daughter to her neighbor's house to get her watch so she could take Faraday to a bus station and put him on a bus because he needs to get to Seattle. When he got his message, and I should have mentioned that earlier, he's trying to get to Seattle where this company is so he could get in there and continue his mission. But he needs Justin to go with him. But she don't want to go with him because, she has her own issues that she has to deal with her. She's trying to help her dad, trying to find ways to come up with money to get him medication and so forth. That's what's going on. So I think Faraday finally recognized that, right? While Justin is taking her daughter to the neighbor's house, he walks back inside the house. The dad, the grandpa, he's in his room now, laying down. Faraday walks into the room. Now, at this point, and how they had the music playing, and how they had the camera views, and how they had it looking, I almost feel like Faraday was about to go in here and murder this old man. I didn't know what was happening. I really thought he was about to kill him. Like, man, I'm about to just get rid of this old dude so we go on a mission. But you know what? It was the total opposite. He goes in the room, he looks at the old man looks at him, he puts his hands on the old man's chest, and it's like, once he did that, a bunch of energy started to just pulse out of him and the old man, and things started happening in electricity in the house and at her neighbor house, and just in the area where they were at just started freaking out, cutting on and off. Once Justin seen that, she ran immediately to the house because she didn't know what was going on. She goes to her father's room, and the first thing she sees is her dad standing up straight, because mind you, he's been in a wheelchair this whole time from episode 1 to this episode. He's standing up. He doesn't have any type of disability anymore. His hands are not all messed up anymore or deformed anymore. And she just couldn't believe it. She gives her dad a hug, and her dad's like, I feel amazing. I feel great. I'm healed. Da da da. And then she looks on the floor, and you see Faraday just crumpled up, and now he has the deformity. So basically, whatever was going on with her father, he took that out of him and brought it into him. And that was deep. That was deep. And then he looked at her and said, let's go to Seattle now. Because he knew. I helped your dad. He good now. Let's go make this mission. So that I just thought that was incredible to see that. To see him help her dad like that and kind of like start to get it like, okay, this is what I need to do if I'm going to be able to make this happen. And if you got these type of abilities and powers, then yeah, you need to use them if you're going to try to help people to do good. I like that. And then there was another part on this in this episode with this guy named Spencer Clay. Now I think he's some type of FBI agent, or he works for some type of government organization, and basically his organization or whoever he works for, they found out about that transmission of single, and they've kind of already known about this transmissions being passed around through frequencies and stuff like that. So somehow they got word about it. They found out about there was a recent transmission. There was an old scientist from 15 years ago who I guess knew about Thomas Newton or about when he came or something. I don't think he know exactly who he was, but whatever happened at that time frame, it messed that old guy up so bad that he's living out in the wilderness and in the woods in a barricade in a cabin, got everything just booby trapped. So when this guy Spencer Clay goes looking for him, the old man already knew he was coming. Like he obviously seen him coming up on his property, and somehow the old man ends up behind Spencer, and he just cracks him in the head with the shotgun. Just knocked him out. Bam! He on the ground. Next thing you know, he wakes up. Spencer wakes up. He's in the cabin, tied up to a chair, basically with some tape wrapped around his hands and his feet. And the old man is just going off. He's losing his mind. He's like, y'all not coming back here to get me again. You're not going to do any other stuff to me again. And I'm not going to let it happen. I'm going to kill you before you do it to me, before you kill me. And da 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 da. This was just going off. He was just tripping. So Spencer like, hold on, man. Hold on. I'm just here for this transmission. I know you dealt with something like this 15 years ago. And I that's all I'm here for. I'm not here to try to hurt you or to do anything. But you know what the old man wasn't having it. He said, "Nah, I ain't hearing that." He walks over to the sink. He pick up a knife and he just start like twirling the knife all in his hand. Just I didn't see any blood come out, but you know it was weird. So he gets up close and personal to Spencer, like he's in his face, like I'm in at the mic. He's just in his face, and Spencer decides he's gonna headbutt him. He headbutts him. Old man falls on the floor. Spencer like jumps up and then falls back to try to break the chair so he can come out, you know, get untied from the chair. And him and the old man start fighting. The old man put him on his back. Then somehow he got the shotgun. And I'm thinking like, okay, Spencer dead now. You done hit the old man in his head. You headbutted him. He about to murk you. That's what's about to happen. You're about to get clapped down. Nope. Old man takes the gun, puts it here, bow. Blows his brains all over the cabin. That's what happens. That's what happens. So I still need to get some more understanding on Spencer, but obviously he's trying to catch up to Faraday and Thomas Newton and figure out who are these beings. Obviously, maybe they know that there's other beings from other planets coming to Earth, but I don't remember them saying that. But who knows? Episode 3, we're gonna find out. We're gonna see what's going on in episode 3, and like I said, the show has been so far. It's been really good. Episode 1 was good. Episode 2 was good. So I'm excited to see episode 3 and see Faraday and Justin. Yeah, it's Justin. I could have called it Justin, but Justin get to Seattle, and I just want to see what happens from there. But basically, that's my review for the man who fell to Earth, and yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing over here on the Genocide Show. So, for our final topic, for our final review, it's the Halo series on Paramount Plus. And let me get set up here. Let me get set up here. And you know, I want to make sure I got some of these actors' names right or characters' names right. But yeah, let's dive into this. Let's get to this. So for this episode is titled, it's episode 6, and it's titled Solace. I don't Soul Ace. I don't know what that means. I really don't. If it means this episode wasn't gonna have no action, that's exactly what that was. Like I don't even know really what to say about this episode. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was bad. It was good. I mean, you got Master Chief starting off the episode, literally locking Dr. Halsey up in her office and saying there's some type of, I don't know, like some type of system where it can fall apart and then radiation comes into the room and there's no fail safe for it to stop it, or whoever created it had a flaw in it or whatever the case. But basically he like, look, you don't tell me the truth and tell me what's going on and why you took me from my parents when I was a kid and all this stuff and turned me into the Spartan and Master Chief, you about to die. Master Chief is brutal. He's about to murk her with some radiation. But, you know, Cortana had to pop up. She pops up. Chief, don't do it, Chief. Why are you doing this, Chief? And Master Chief like, yeah, tell Cortana to stop me. You know, you got her all in my head. Make her stop me. And guess what? Cortana couldn't. She couldn't. And at the final last second, Master Chief yanks Dr. Halsey off and throw her on the floor. He just tossed her like, bow, get on the floor. And then he told her, look, I only did it because I just wanted to make sure to see. I wanted to see the limitations of Cortana, and now I know. And watch it back. Watch it back. Ain't nobody playing with you. And he just walks off. And for me, with this episode, it's just a lot of talking. I mean, mind you, the last episode, episode 5, after Master Chief fights with the Covenant, and he lost the artifact because he tried to save one of the other Spartans. They shot down a little pod from the Covenant ship that had the human female that they captured as a kid, who they call their prophet or whatever the case, and she's basically trying to infiltrate I think that the NSC or any NSS. I don't know what Master Chief's um military base and team and them they're actually called. I think it's the USCN. If I'm wrong, correct me, leave it in the comments, and we'll get that right. Or it's the USCN. I don't know. But basically, she's being interrogated now by Master Chief. And the thing I was happy about is Master Chief got at her like, look, you think that I'm that damn stupid that you just came out of a ship from the Covenant, you've been raised up with them, and you want to come over and just all of a sudden help us? That don't even make sense. I don't trust you. But where I have an issue here, this woman has never met Master Chief. And it's not like she ain't known about him. Everybody knows about Master Chief in this universe, a galaxy, or whatever's going on. They all know about him. And for some odd reason, they have this type of connection, like a psychic, spiritual connection. And she just kept saying it. We're the same. We're the same. We're the same, Master Chief. No, you're not. You a little short ass woman. He's a big 6'8" tall ass dude. Ain't nothing the same about you too. There's nothing the same. He's a Spartan. He's out fighting the people you work for, and all you do is just talk and act like you some type of prophet for them. So, but I didn't like that they seem to have some weird connection. I didn't like that. I just thought that was a bit off. I get Master Chief having some connection to the artifact, but when did she have a connection to the artifact? Not saying that she can't, but they need to explain why these two are connected, how they're connected to this artifact. It just makes some sense of it. But like I said, I don't trust her. I mean, she was already trying to get Master Chief to take her to the artifact. Really? Why would he do that? Why would he take you to the artifact? Well, because we had a connection and we ended up in some little dream world together, and our heartbeat and our vital signs were matching the same. Woohoo! Don't nobody care. You might be doing some magical stuff to play with Master Chief's head, and his head's already messed up right now. He got Cortana in it. He's dealing with Dr. Halsey playing games with him because she just loves manipulating everybody, even her own daughter, Miranda. I think that's her name, and she's a scientist like her mom, but she don't want nothing to do with her. Like, she just disowns family. Dr. Halsey is cold hearted, cold blooded. She don't care. All she care about is making sure she got the Spartans doing doing what she want them to do. If the Spartans ain't doing what she want them to do, then she got to go in there and do some more work. That's all she care about. She care about the future, about advancing mankind, and making us into some, like, basically Superman. You know, so I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with that if you're doing it right. But you going out, you're making clones, you're killing the clones. It's just, I don't know. She's just done a lot of dirty stuff. Okay, she snatched up Master Chief when he was a kid and a bunch of other kids, and then replaced them with clones of themselves. So the families thought that, oh, here's my son John, or here's, that's Master Chief's name, John, but it ain't really him. And then they ended up dying in like a few months after being there. So the family don't even know that, first of all, you had a clone son, and your real son is somewhere out there going to war, killing people. It's been turned into a war machine, basically. So that's what's happening with this episode. But I will say that the greatest thing about this episode, the best thing about this episode, is there was no Quan. Quan, you know what? Let me clear it up. There was a moment Master Chief was freaking out, and for some reason he had a vision of seeing Quan saying something. And I don't understand that. You literally just saved Quan, and I'm pretty sure you saved a bunch of people. Why is she popping up in your mind like if she's that important? I don't know. But I'm just happy that they did not waste any precious footage on her. I am happy about that. Because they must have seen my last video. She needs to go. She needs to go. Okay? Period. So I was happy about that. But like I said, once again, give us more action. I don't know if it's if the CGI, maybe it's too much money. I mean, it's Paramount. Y'all should be able to handle this. Y'all should be able to handle this. Halo is based off of combat and action and fighting. I get the story parts. Get it in there, but do a better job with it. Because all I felt with this episode was a bunch of talking and a bunch of people just walking around and doing more talking. Now, mind you, Dr. Halsey did lose her title and she did get put like on house arrest. And her daughter ended up taking her position, and now she's running the Spartan program, but she's still playing her games and manipulating people so she could try to still stay in charge. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I just hope for episode 7, we get more action. I want to see Master Chief and the Spartans out there fighting the Covenant. Like, please, just do it. Like, to me, that's what's been the best part of this series, of this show, is the action. I mean, it's Halo, bro. It's based off of the video game. I mean, obviously they're going back before Master Chief and them. They're just now finding out about the Halo and all that. So they're not even caught up to where Halo 1 and the rest of the Halos go. I think, yeah. If I remember correctly, yeah. So, just give me more action. More action. No Quan. And I'm happy. So, that's pretty much it right here for me. That's my review on this Halo episode. If there's anything that I missed or anything you guys want to bring up in the comments, please just leave it here on this episode, and I'll try to go over it in the next genocide show and talk about it. But I just want to thank you guys for watching. I just hope everybody out there have a blessed day and stay safe. And yeah, thank you. I'm your boy Genocide. This is the Genocide Show, and I'm out. Peace.